Hey there, Mija. You look a little lost.
Is that your car?
The late afternoon sun blazed across the fractured pavement of a quiet small-town gas station, its heat shimmering in restless waves as cars drifted in and out. The heavy scent of gasoline lingered in the thick air, mingling with the faint smell of fried food wafting from a diner across the road. But amid what seemed like an ordinary, easily forgotten day, something happened that would carve itself into the memories of everyone who witnessed it. A solitary woman stood at pump number 4, her aging minivan trembling softly as it idled. Her name was Emily Hart, a single mother barely holding her life together. She had no idea that within minutes she would face both cruelty and an act of grace that would change everything. Before I take you deeper into her story, take a moment to pause. If you believe in kindness and second chances and in the power of people standing up for what's right, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Stories. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that remind the world of the goodness still alive out there. Emily's day had already been a storm long before she pulled into that gas station. Her shift at the diner had dragged late. Her pay came up short again, and the back-to-school supply list her little boy had handed her that morning felt like a mountain she couldn't climb. Her old van, held together by duct tape and faith, was gasping on its last drops of fuel. She gathered the few crumpled bills she had left to buy just enough gas to last until her next paycheck. Life had etched deep lines into her young face, yet her eyes, though tired, still carried a quiet flame, the kind only mothers who fight endlessly for their children possess. As she stood at the pump, fishing for coins from her worn-out wallet, 3 men swaggered out of the convenience store. They weren't locals, loud, tattooed, with mocking grins fixed across their faces. They walked with the arrogance of men who believed every space belonged to them. One tossed an empty soda can to the ground, and another's gaze landed on Emily. That's when their cruelty began. They edged closer, their voices rising, mocking her appearance, her run-down van, and the fact that she was alone. One even reached toward her purse dangling from her shoulder, laughing as though she were some pitiful joke meant for their amusement. Emily's hands trembled as she gripped the gas nozzle tighter, her chest constricting in fear. She glanced around, but the station was almost deserted, no one close enough to help. The thought of her little boy waiting at home raced through her heart. She couldn't fall apart now, not here, but inside she was breaking. The men's laughter grew louder, echoing through the lot until the ground began to tremble. A deep, steady rumble rolled from the distance, growing stronger each second. At first, they didn't notice, but Emily did. She turned toward the road, her eyes widening as a line of motorcycles emerged on the horizon. One by one, nearly a dozen bikes rolled in like a storm. Their chrome gleamed under the blazing sun, their engines roaring like thunderous beasts. The entire station seemed to shake as they pulled in, formidable yet strangely magnificent. It was the Iron Serpents. The bullies froze, their smirks fading fast. These weren't just riders. They were legends on 2 wheels, men who carried an aura that silenced the world around them. Their leader, a towering man with silver streaks in his beard and eyes as sharp as steel, stepped off his Harley. His leather cut bore an emblem that made grown men swallow their pride. His boots hit the pavement with a force that commanded respect. Without speaking, he and his crew advanced, forming a half-circle around Emily, shielding her in silent protection. The 3 men stumbled backward, their fake bravado crumbling. One tried to laugh it off, but his voice cracked under the weight of the biker's silent warning. The leader didn't yell. He didn't need to. His stare alone said everything. Leave now or regret every breath you take here. In seconds, the thugs retreated, tripping over each other as they scrambled into their car. Their tires screeched as they fled the lot, leaving only dust and their shame behind. Emily's knees nearly gave out, adrenaline crashing into exhaustion. She hadn't realized she was holding her breath until it left her in a shaky gasp. The bikers stayed still for a moment, watchful, making sure the danger was gone. Then the leader turned to her. For a heartbeat, she feared his judgment. Her ragged clothes, her battered van, her fragile state. But what she saw in his eyes wasn't pity. It was respect. He nodded once, a silent message, "You're not alone. You stood strong. We've got you." One of the bikers quietly slipped a few bills into her hand. Another lifted the hood of her van, fixed a loose wire, and topped off her oil from a can he carried. They worked quietly, expecting no thanks, no recognition, just doing what needed to be done. Tears streamed down Emily's face, not from fear, but from the overwhelming kindness she never expected. For years, she had fought alone, and now, for the first time in forever, someone stood beside her. Engines roared once more as the riders prepared to leave, their presence still powerful and commanding. Before mounting his bike, the leader looked back one last time. His words were simple, but they carried the weight of something greater. "Keep going. You're stronger than you think." Then, with a deafening rumble, they rolled out, disappearing down the highway like a storm fading into the distance. Emily stood there, clutching the gas pump and the folded bills, her heart pounding with gratitude. The fear that had consumed her moments ago had vanished, replaced by a calm, healing warmth. She knew life ahead would still be hard, the bills high, the nights long, but something within her had changed forever. For the first time in a long while, she felt seen, protected, and reminded that goodness still finds us even in the darkest corners. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Stories. Help us spread reminders of the light in humanity, and prove that kindness, courage, and compassion still matter. And before this story ends, I want to ask something from you. Leave a comment below. Do you believe moments like this, where strangers rise to defend the vulnerable, still happen today? Your words matter, and your story might be the reason someone finds hope again.